insane is the card draw from Clive Ifrit's Dominant in Mono Red Devotion? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Ifrit Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we are into Pioneer to play one of my all-time favorite archetypes, but an archetype that got an absolutely massive new addition from Final Fantasy. We are playing some Mono Red Devotion, but this is Mono Red Clive Devotion. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, why Clive is such an absolutely massive deal for this deck. Jump into some games, see the deck in action. So like any Devotion deck, we're built around the mana-making power of Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, a land that we can pay to and tap, and choose a color and make mana of that color equal to our devotion of that color. So if you look at our deck, our early game is all about just adding as many red mana symbols to the battlefield as possible. So we make a huge amount of mana with Nykthos. So 1-drop we have Goldhound, which is honestly kind of curve filler, but it can sack to make a mana. In the 2-drop slot, Burning Tree Emissary, insane with Nykthos, since it makes 2 mana when it enters, we can dump that mana into our Nykthos. Plus, since it makes 2 mana, if we have multiple Burning Trees, we can just chain them together and have this huge turn on like turn 3 where we make a ridiculous amount of mana with Nykthos. Eidolon of the Great Revel hits anyone for 2 damage whenever they cast a cheap spell, a spell mana value 3 or less. Fine in any matchup, since it has 2 red mana symbols, but mostly at its best against decks like Prowess, Phoenix, Storm-style Lotus Field decks that are casting a bunch of cheap spells. Wily Goblin, just a one-of because its stats are pretty bad, but it makes a treasure when it enters. In the 3-drop slot, we have 3 triple red 3-drops. Goblin Chain Whirler, 1 damage to all of our opponent's stuff when it enters, and it's a 3/3 first striker. Boros Reckoner, kind of the original Screaming Nemesis. You trade haste for triple red mana symbols, and then 1 count on your luck for some card advantage from Aether Drift. So why, apart from Nykthos, are we so concerned with adding red mana symbols to the battlefield? And the answer here is our big new Final Fantasy edition in Clive Ifrit's Dominant. And this card is literally built to go in a red devotion deck. It is a 6 mana 5/5. It's a legend, whatever. When it enters, we can discard our hand and draw cards equal to our devotion to red, which is an absolutely absurd ability in this deck. So if you think about how Mono Red Devotion plays, one of the issues with the deck is we kind of just dump our hand of all these random red mana symbol things, but we don't really have a super great plan to refill our hand. We can sometimes just play all these 2 mana 2/2s like Burning Tree Emissary, and we're like, is that actually enough to win the game? But now, thanks to Clive, we can dump our hand, play a Clive using our Nykthos mana, and draw 8 cards, 10 cards, 20 cards very easily. So this is just going to refill our hand, and all that action should find us a way to win the game. We can also flip it pretty easily if we want to. The backside, it's fine. Ifrit, Warden of Inferno, it's a 9/9, which is sweet. When it flips, it fights something, and then the next 2 turns, it just makes 3 mana, but then eventually it flips back around in the Clive if it lives that long and the game's still going, and then we draw a bunch more cards and keep the fun going. So essentially, Clive is just this huge card advantage engine for the deck. Plus, it can kind of work like a combo piece, because it can draw us into the cards to just straight up win us the game. So how do we kill our opponent outside of just like flooding the board with a ton of random dorky red creatures? The most straightforward way, Fanatic Amogus. Fanatic Amogus, when it enters, it deals damage to each opponent equal to our devotion to red. So we build up this big devotion. We play Clive to draw a ton of cards, hopefully get another Nykthos, a bunch of Fanatic Amoguses, play the Fanatics, burn our opponent out of the game. If we don't have quite enough damage, Twin Flame Tyrant just doubles up our damage, so our Fanatic Amoguses should definitely be lethal. We also have Enduring Courage, which just gives creatures that enter haste and +2/+0. So this does a couple of things. We can just play it and like dump our hand of stuff and get a big hasty attack to win. It also lets us flip Clive right away. We make so much mana with Nykthos. It's actually realistic that we could like play Clive, draw a bunch of cards, pay 6 mana, flip Clive, flight down your thing, get a 9/9, smack you for a ton of damage, and that works really well with haste as well. So that's kind of the big finishing plan. As far as the rest of the deck, we get some removal. Bone Crusher Giant, early game removal, also adds a red mana symbol, good body on the battlefield. Abrew can deal with early game creatures, also gets rid of stuff like Corey Steelcutter, Scorching Shot for bigger creatures, Mizian Mortars if we overload it, kind of our sweeper. Mana base, Nykthos the big one, also Shatter Skull Smashing for more removal, some Den of the Bugbears, Raminap Ruins for a little damage, a bunch of mountains. In the sideboard, we get a bunch more removal options depending on the matchup. Ghost Vacuum for graveyards, Chandra for grindy matchups, Sunspine Links to shut down life gain, deal a bunch of damage, and that is Mono Red Clive 5 devotion for Pioneer. And that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how absurd Clive can be in a deck that's built to make as much devotion as possible. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is Clive devotion time, and I forgot to start the recording, so we already mulliganed once, but our hands got Nykthos. It's got no Clive, but hopefully we find one soon. Opponent going, ooh, consider, okay, Phoenix maybe? I mean, Burning Tree Nykthos is good. We don't really have a payoff yet. That's where Clive comes in, right? Ideally, Clive is a card that lets us dump our hand and then refill it, and then become a massive 9/9 opponent looking at the gold hound. Untap land, opponent passes. Mizium Mortars, eh? Well, let's Ramming Amp Ruins and opponent down to 17. And yeah, I think we're actually just gonna pass. I feel like running out the Burning Tree doesn't do much, and then the mana goes to waste. Next turn we can play it and immediately Nykthos it, so we kind of just get the mana back anyway. I guess it would be an attacker, but it also is a, Cutter. Whew, all right, we cannot escape Cutter no matter where we go. Opponent considers, makes a prowess token. Actually, Cutter makes a lot of sense for Phoenix, right? Like, it works with the same cards, and then it gives you a way to win that doesn't care about the graveyard. Opponent gonna get in and hit us. Down to 18. Ooh, Goblin Chain Whirler, eh? This is not bad. So we can Burning Tree Emissary, make 2 mana. Nykthos, the best, most important card in this deck by far. Get down Goblin Chain Whirler. We don't get to kill the prowess token, but we get down to 3/3 first strike, hit you for 1 down to 15, and now we got a lot of devotion for Fanatic Amogus next turn. Opponent. Are we gonna make another Corey Steel Cutter token, opponent? I feel like Cutter might be about the right power level for like modern. I think that might be, we've seen, I mean, it's been good. Oh my God, Treasure Cruise. All right, well, that's all their mana though, so I don't think they can get back the Phoenix, at least. They do get another Cutter token, but 3/3 first strike, actually, kind of a good blocker here. Fanatic Amogus isn't lethal, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the face. We need a Clive. We need, oh, they have an untapped land. Oops. Wait, maybe they, okay, they can't get back Phoenix. Oh, there's a Clive. There's a Clive. You don't say. We could just Clive. I don't really want to discard the Fanatic, though. I almost feel like maybe this is a setup turn. So we make a bunch of mana. I mean, Clive still draws us 8. Maybe it's worth pitching the Fanatic. Yeah, let's just do it. We came here to Clive, let's Clive. Draws equal to our devotion to red, which is currently 8. So we discard 3, draw 8, which I feel like this card could make Mono Red Devotion a thing. Like, this is what Mono Red Devotion was lacking, is a way to refill your hand. It is 6 mana, but still, like, 6 mana to draw 8 is obscene. Are they going to kill it? I mean, even if they kill it. All right, opponent's going to Lightning Axe, trigger prowess, discard their stuff. Sure. So we're only going to draw 6. But hopefully, like, the other thing is, if we draw enough, hopefully we hit another Clive, and we just keep the fun going. There's another Clive and another Nykthos. Well, let's play Ramming Amp Ruins, and I think we just passed the turn. Next turn might be pretty good. Yeah, we're not going to attack. Getting in with the Chain Whirler would be possible, but it's so good on defense here. Opponent. Even more Corey Steel. Maybe we don't care about the Corey Steel Cutters. Nice 2/2s, opponent. Nice 1/1s. Opponent, sleight of hand. I mean, so they're going to do Cutter stuff. They're probably going to get back their Phoenix. But with 2 Nykthoses, next turn's going to be wild. Opponent. Are we getting back the Phoenix? I mean, I guess if they kill Chain Whirler, things become a lot sketchier. All right, Artist Talent, that's fine. That is fine. Play your stuff, trigger your prowesses. We will take the beats and, you know, we'll take it. Go, Corey Steel Cutter. Okay. Abrade. Well, 1, 2. Step 1. Burning Tree Emissary. That's free. So Burning Tree Emissary makes some devotion. So now we can Nykthos for 8. Nykthos for 8. So can we Enduring Curiosity's 3. Chain Whirler is actually kind of good here. It's going to kill 2 of the tokens at least. So Chain Whirler. Nuke some tokens. Play Nykthos number 2. Make a little mana. Wow, we could actually we can almost play and flip Clive. I don't think we're going to. I think we're just going to, we're going to do this. So play the Enduring Curiosity for haste. Pull up a Corey Steel Cutter. And do a little Clive-in. Devotion 15 this time. Yes, we would like to draw 15 Magic the Gathering cards. And then, there's Fanatic Amogus. Okay. And I think that's going to do it. 4 lands in play. 4 lands. It only took 4 lands. Haste him up. 18 to the face. And, well, that is exactly what we were hoping Clive was going to do for this deck. Like, exactly. When I saw it in my head of how we were going to, like, have Clive be good in Mono Red Devotion, it was literally doing that. Like, dump the hand, refill, draw 15 cards. Sideboard wise, the Ghost Vacuums are the biggest ones for sure. Yeah, try it like that. All right, on to game number 2. Phoenix versus Clive Devotion. We're going to be on the draw this time. Well, I mean, we got to keep this. These are the sketchy hands, though. As powerful as Nykthos is. Oh, no, that is the worst time to draw Nykthos, too. As powerful as Nykthos is, it is sometimes a little painful because we have a lot of double and triple mana symbols. Red. All right, that's not red mana. Nykthos and Cry. Go. Opponent's got their Artist Talent. Yeah, this is where Nykthos looks kind of jank. And there's a Cutter. Wow, discards a Phoenix. Okay, this seems to be going well for our opponent. More double red cards. Well, pass the turn. Discard a Wily Goblin, I guess. Opponent. Artist Talent number 2 does a little looting. Thankfully, our opponent hasn't gotten off to a faster start. Wow, okay. Opponent's also missing lands. Red mana. Okay, there's red mana. There's red mana. Still awkward. Well, I guess we can Burning Tree into Eidolon. We just need the mana symbols. Okay, now we can actually start playing Magic, though. So, Burning Tree. Nykthos, sadly for 2, but still. Lets us get down in Eidolon. Some more mana symbols. Pass the turn. Does our opponent find... I mean, they have 2 Artist Talents. They're going to find their land. The Eidolon's pretty good against them, though. Like, it's going to hurt if you're going to be slinging a bunch of spells. Opponent considers. Takes 2. Triggers a bunch of Artist Talents. The bad news is they're going to fill their graveyard really quickly here. And they're going to be triggering Cutters. Maybe triple Eidolon, though. Next turn, we just Eidolon and see what happens. Maybe Eidolontron will be enough. Wow, tap land, okay. So not even going to try to get their Phoenixes back. They're just going to take their beats. Discard another Phoenix for next turn. I mean, there's a lot of Phoenixes that are going to be coming. As long as the Eidolons hold, though, like, each spell they cast is 6, 12, 18. I don't know if they can cast 3 spells, as long as... Ooh, and a Ghost Vacuum. That's interesting. 1, 2. Nykthos. Make a little manas. Eidolon. Great Revel. And Nykthos number 2 makes 6 mana. I guess we play Ghost Vacuum first, so we take less damage. Ghost Vacuum, 4 to the face. Stomp. So I think Stomp, we just kill the token. It doesn't really change the math on Eidolons. We are putting ourselves very low on life, to the point where these Phoenixes could be an issue, even with the Ghost Vacuum. Because we dropped to 6, but we get to hit our opponent down to 12. 2 spells. They can cast 2 spells. Mana value 3 or less. So hopefully we just have them locked. Oh, no, boy. Well, it looks like our opponent's only going to need 1 spell. Because that's a Brotherhood end. Okay. Well, there goes our board. That is very bad for us. Not great. We're really needing those Eidolons to stick. Can they cast another spell to trigger Cutter? I mean, now they cast all the spells we want, because our Eidolons are dead. Oh, I thought Eidolontron was going to get there. I really did. Oh no, Treasure Cruise. Yep. Found it. I'm gonna draw all the cards, trigger all the stuffs. Well, we get to exile an Arclight Phoenix at least. Somehow our opponent has not managed to get back. They got a Phoenix in the graveyard like turn 2, and they have not gotten it back yet, which is good. The bad news is we probably tried a Cutter. Cutter survives the Wrath even. What a card. What a Magic the Gathering card. Opponent loots and draws a bunch of cards. I guess Treasure Cruise is like their Clive. Not nearly as cool. Down to 4. Yeah, I mean, I expect we're just dead here. Run out the Bone Crusher, pass the turn. I imagine the Cutter is gonna get the job done. Fiery Impulse, trigger stuff, and then Cutter. Man, that Brother Sudan was pretty good. Well, run it back. All right, this looks a lot like our last hand, where if we don't draw another red source, we're very sad. On the other hand, if we draw a red source, we got the mana symbols, we got the Clive in hand. I would give anything for a Mountain this turn. Mountain off the top? Okay, Mountain off the top. Life is good. Let's get out an Eidolon. Opponent. Gonna do a little considering. Okay, now we're good mana-wise, hopefully. I mean, if we can get down enough mana symbols, we might be able to get down a quick Clive here. We'll see. Clive was so good in game 1. Opponent untap land. And passing. Fanatic Amogus, eh? Oh, opponent. Alright. Fiery Impulse. I mean, at least I gotta take 2. Well, Eidolon again. Opponent. I'm going to keep considering. Mills a land. Well, get down the Nykthos. Burning Tree would be a really good draw. Mana would also be fine, just a land. Land gets us to Enduring Courage, which then might get us to Hasty Clive. Well, no Cutter at least, that's good. I feel like the Eidolon it slows them down at least. Lightning, okay, that's good for us. Opponent's got to spend a Lightning Axe. Takes 2 and discards a land to get rid of the Eidolon. Sleight of hand. Well, there goes our defense. We'd really love to draw a land. A land would be very good here. A braid. All right, well, let's run out the Bone Crusher. Not exactly what we were dreaming of, but I mean, Bone Crusher's still a 4/3. Still hurts you if you target it. Opponent. I mean, eventually they're going to find a Cruise and just draw all the cards. Thankfully, they have not done a good job of getting Phoenixes back, though. And they don't have a Cutter going, so far they're just kind of spinning their wheels and killing. All right, there's the Cutter. Spoke too soon. Opponent, Cutter, and Fiery Impulse on the Bone Crusher. Triggers the Cutter. Ugh, okay, this might be getting worse now that we're missing our lands. It says to 18. I mean, we can't abrade the Cutter, which I think is our plan. Yeah, blow up the Cutter, and then we just play Shatter Skull tapped, I guess. It would be nice if we could have got down Enduring Courage this turn, but this saves us 3, and it means we're not shocking or bolding ourselves with Shatter Skull smashing, and we don't have to worry about Cutter making more tokens, which our opponent's deck very good at triggering Cutter. Like, you've seen all the cantrips. That's kind of what Phoenix does. About it. Well, okay. We have a Phoenix sighting. Hardcast Arclight, that's fine. If you're hardcasting your Arclight Phoenixes, we can deal with that. Opponent hits us. Oh boy, so clunky mana-wise. Eidolon, eh? Well, I think we'd rather Enduring Courage. Like, one way we can possibly win here is Enduring Courage into Hasty Fanatic Amogus if our opponent doesn't have defense. A land would be good. A land would let us Eidolon into make enough mana for Fanatic. Ooh, Prophetic Memory. Okay. That's a little scary. Well, by itself, it's not that bad, but they have so much card draw. If they hit another card, if they hit a treasure, oh no, they're looking at the graveyard. If they hit a treasure, oh, they got a Treasure Cruise. That's a problem. That's a lot of counters, don't it? Does a little cruising. Hi. Yeah. Well, something's about to get huge. So I guess we have to win the game this turn, or we're going to die to this huge Phoenix. If somehow we could play and flip Clive. Yeah, that's 4 counters. Down to 7. Oh, I don't know if we can win this turn or not. Shatter Skull smashing. Smashing untapped. Down to 4. Then we play the Eidolon. Haste it up. Maybe, is this enough? If they don't have anything, I think this is still enough. Fanatic Amogus. Hit ya for 5. Haste, Enduring Courage win. Enduring Courage win. Clive takes it in game 1. Enduring Courage comes through with the haste, and okay. Well, Phoenix down, Phoenix down. Didn't get to Clive in that game, but we managed to piece it together somehow. Taking down Cutter. Sweet. Clive devotion time. Doing some pioneering. And this hand, seems fine. No Nykthos, sadly. But we can do things in the early game. This is one of those decks where we really want Nykthos, but we also can't just like mull to 5 for Nykthos because we don't have enough mana symbols to make Nykthos do anything. So a lot of times we're kind of just hoping to draw the Nykthos. Opponent leads on a Fabled Passage. Well, we will get down in Eidolon of the Great Rebel. Hit you down to 19. Man, if we could draw a Nykthos and maybe a Clive, we have a lot of mana symbols. Opponent grabs a Forest. Interesting. And Sylvan Caryatid takes 2. Ooh, we might be able to get him here. If we just swing out, they're going to block the Eidolon, right? Like, it's so obvious. Because who plays around Goblin Chainwhirler in 2025? Opponents thinking they're safe with their Hexproof, but a little whirling? We do have to take 2 to do it, but getting rid of the Caryatid's kind of huge. And now we're super far ahead on board. Wow, an opponent apparently really needed that Sylvan Caryatid. Well, Goblin Chainwhirler can still get... Man, that card was so good when it was in Standard. Honestly, we're going to bring in the Sunspine Legs. I don't think we're going to sideboard super heavy, though. Maybe a Scorching Shot, because it can kill Yarion. Mortars doesn't. Maybe one Bone Crusher. Run it like that. I don't know if people remember just how busted Chainwhirler was. That was a card that people legitimately, there were conversations about, is this too good? Is this something that needs to be banned in Standard? It never was, but it was like, it was an S tier Standard card. Chainwhirler was so good. It's kind of funny though, like, it's funny how Red is developed in Standard. Like, a few years ago, opponent up the beanstalk. A few years ago, Goblin Chainwhirler was considered a problem because for 3 mana, it would come down and like wipe out your X1s and hit you for a damage. We're gonna shock ourselves to get on the Eidolon. And now Mono Red, they just kill you on turn 3. Like, oh, Chainwhirler, please. I would love you to Chainwhirler me with 3 mana. That is some good, clean, fair magic. Well, let's do things. Burning Tree. I mean, this Clive, if our opponent doesn't scoop, is going to be absurd this game. So we get to Clive, or we get to play the Burning Tree. We get to make 5 mana. We could play Clive off the Goldhound. I think Fanatic Amogus is better, though, because we don't want to discard the Fanatic Amoguses anyway. And wow, opponent scoops it up, and well, that was a freebie. Didn't even need Clive. That's how fast that draw was. All right. I mean, the Shatter Skull Smashing is a land. We get to ramp with Wily Goblin, work towards the Clive. Opponent, Swamp Ant. Are we going to get our land thoughts? If they Thoughtseize the Shatter Skull, this is the one downside. Well, the biggest downside. One of the biggest downsides of MDF, and that's a Clive, of MDFCs is their lands that you can Thoughtseize. Opponent land. I'm surprised they kept the Thoughtseize on a mull to 5. That's not a land. Oh boy. We are getting max punish for our MDFC love. Opponent, Blade of the Oni. Okay. Fanatic Amogus, sure. We'll discard a Clive since we only got 1 mana. Opponent, we have removal in hand too. Opponent hits us down to 13. Yeah, lands in my right. All right, we drew a land finally. So we get to Burning Tree. This is probably, I think, just Burning Tree and then kill the Gifted Aetherborn so our opponent stops gaining life. And then we deal with the Blade of the Oni in the future. So Aetherborn down. Well, let's see if our opponent now draws a land. Oh man, we miss lands for what, 2 turns in a row? That's kind of painful. Opponent gets in. Hits us down to 9. And Unholy Annex with a demon. Okay. Well, yeah, that's also not a land. We get to kill the Oni, but we drop to 6 and they're drawing extra cards now. Yeah, let's Mortars it. Scorching Shot technically kills bigger things. We're not going to get to 6 mana anytime soon to overload. Hit you to 22. How do you like us now, opponent? Hitting their lands. Drawing more demons. Blade of Oni again. Drains us to 5. And not a land. Well, that was one of the best Thoughtseizes in the history of Magic the Gathering. Thoughtseizing the land is so brutal. Well, let's bring in some more removal. I guess do a little trimming of the top end stuff. Run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're on the play this game. Hopefully, we draw more than 1 land. Last game was a little rough. Oh my god. Okay, we're on the play. We're on the play. We're getting this Shatter Skull Smashing out of our hand as quickly as possible. Okay, no lands to be thought seized this time. Thank goodness. Getting down the count. Did they actually have the thought? Wow. Okay, good thing we're on the play or we would have been in trouble. Clive and Fnatic are really powerful, but they're slow. Takes the Burning Tree. I'd really like to get down the count on luck. I feel like it could be pretty good. Our opponent's going to be drawing extra cards at some point with Unholy Annex. We would like some card advantage to keep up. Opponent tap land and no thought seize. All right, well, in that case, I think we just get down count on luck. Get down the count on luck. 3 red mana symbols, too, if we find a Nykthos. And it can help us find our Nykthos. And Meatball Massacre X1. All right, well, you killed the Wily Goblin. Mission successful. Shatter Skull Smashing and a Bone Crusher. Well, Shatter Skull Smashing, yeah, I think we just play it tapped. Play a tap, get down the Eidolon. We can leave up the Bone Crusher as removal. I mean, we're technically a land away from Clive. Kind of want to play the... All right, opponent's going to Fatal Push, sure. Kind of want to play the Fnatic first, though. It's not like an insane Fnatic, but our opponent is down to 14. Graveyard Trespasser. All right, that's a little annoying. We're going to start eating away our graveyard, gaining some life. Well, count on luck. Very good at finding Shatter Skull Smashings. Burning Tree's not bad. Kind of wish we had a Nykthos, though. Well, get on the Burning Tree. Make a little Manus. And Fnatic Amogus. Burn you for 6. Opponent down to 9. I mean, opponent's not at that high of a life total. Next turn, we can play Clive. Nykthos would make it way more explosive, but if we don't hit anything good, we might just run it out anyway. Opponent getting in. We will block with this Fnatic Amogus. It did its job. It's only adding 1 red mana symbol, so keeping on the battlefield doesn't do a ton. Honestly, we'd rather have the Burning Tree on the battlefield at this point. Opponent trades it off. Meat Hook doing Meat Hook things. Fatal Push on the Burning Tree Emissary. You would think that our enchantment would be safe, but they could have... Wow, really? Okay, I mean, sure. We appreciate the deck thinning. Blows up a Shatter Skull Smashing for some reason. Well, let's see what we find. Count on luck. Mountain. Draw for the turn. Ramanamp Ruins. It's not the greatest Clive, but... It's still a Clive. Yeah, let's play Clive. Don't mind filtering away a Bone Crusher in a land. All right, Bitter Triumph. That kind of hurts because it does reduce our devotion. So now we're only drawing 3. No, not the worst. Not the worst 3. Would have rather hit another Clive, but... Found it. Invoke Despair. Well, there goes our count on luck. Black decks with their enchantment removal. I think it's hand dumping time. Chain Whirler. Hit you to 9. Can the Eidolons finally stick and win us a game? Eidolon. Take 2. Creature land. All right, opponent. You can cast 2 spells before you die. I Invoke Despair. Forgot how much that card annoys me. All right, so opponent goes with the 1 expensive spell, Ritual Chamber. Well, let's see what we can draw. Okay, well, that makes it easy. Fnatic Amogus, and that should do it. Malgus, yeah. Down to 1, swing out, and our opponent can't even cast a spell here because if they do, they die to the Eidolons. Well, that was close. That was a close game, actually. Our opponent could have killed us in 2 turns with that demon, had we not. If we didn't draw the Fnatic Amogus, I'm not sure how that goes, honestly. If we swing out, they block 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They go to 1. I mean, I guess odds are still in favor of us winning, even without the Fnatic, but that Fnatic was great. Life is easier when you don't get your lands thought seized. That is the big lesson from this game. Ashandra might be good, although I guess Ashandra also just gives them something else to eat with Invoke Despair, but I do like the grindy card advantage. Yeah, let's try it like that. A lot of monocolor decks in Pioneer these days. I think that's mostly just that the Pioneer mana's not great. So it really funnels decks into monocolor, 2-color in some cases, compared to Modern where you see a lot more 5-color, 3-color, 4-color decks. Yeah, I mean, this hand's reasonable. No Nykthos. You can thought seize our land if you want, but we got enough lands that it's probably not too tempting this time. I don't know what they take. Burning Tree's explosive. All right, they're going to take the Fnatic after getting wrecked by it last game. Well, let's get one of these Shatter Skull Smashings out of our hand. Opponent. Snow-covered Swampland. Gifted Aetherborn. Gifted Etherborn is kind of annoying. Well, let's run out the Burning Tree. And, oh, I should probably play the Gold Hound. Oops. Yeah, better next turn anyway. Opponent. Wow, untap land out of 15. Gets in. Our opponent's deck spends a lot of life, but also gains back a lot of life. Graveyard Trespasser. So what we want to do, our Bone Crusher, not enough damage to kill a 3 toughness creature, but with Gold Hound, it might be able to, because Gold Hound has first strike. So what we're hoping to do is block the Trespasser with a Gold Hound, get the first strike damage on it, and then kill it before normal damage. But we want to mark the damage first, because we don't want our opponent to kill it to keep the Trespasser, right? So 1 damage on the Trespasser, and then stomp that Werewolf. Discard a land. 1 threat dealt with. Unfortunately, there's still a Gifted Etherborn gaining life, which is annoying, but down to 15. Kind of miss Gifted Etherborn. Cool to see it still seeing some play. It's just like a solid card. 2/3 lifelink Death Touch for 2. I guess it's made a comeback in Pioneer thanks to Mono Red, really. Opponent's going to go for the Throw the Burning Tree Emissary. We get down the Bone Crusher. Could really use some action. We're getting to the, like, enough mana to cast Clive state of the game. I really don't want to trade Bone Crusher with a Gifted Etherborn. That's the other thing. The Death Touch makes it annoying to trade with Liliana. Speaking of annoying, opponent. Interesting. I'm surprised they take down. Now they can't maybe they have 2 Lilianas. Well, there's a Torch to the tower. And I think we're going to 5 mana Shatter Skull Smashing, get rid of the Gifted Etherborn, which has been the bane of our existence. That thing gained so much life. I gained like 8 life or something. Absolutely obscene. But yeah, since red aggro is such a big thing, black decks can actually use Gifted Etherborn. Ooh, Castle Lockwayne. That's a problem. I feel like if this game goes long, and it looks like it might be going long, opponent Lily takes down, gets the Bone Crusher. Ooh, Chandra. All right, well, Chandra, Planeswalker. We're going to hold on to the Torch to the tower, see if we can get our opponent to take up the Lily and then kill it in response. All right, hit you for 2. But I feel like if this game goes long, that Castle Lockwayne going to be an issue. Opponent. Wow, what a top deck. Murderous Rider. All right. Actually, they might have been holding Murderous Rider. That might have been the card in hand, and they drew the land. Well, kill the Lily. Opponent kills our Chandra. Opponent's like 2/3 lifelink tribal, my god. Another Gifted Etherborn, essentially. Burning Tree. Not doing a ton, but run it out. Sadly, because we spent the Shatter Skull Smashing, we're actually a mana short of Clive, even if we draw it. This is where we're going to see the problem with Castle Lockwayne, especially combined with these lifelinkers. Opponent's just going to draw so many more cards than us. Unless Clive can come through, opponent hits us. All right, well, Den of the Bugbear, if we're going to draw land, creature lands, plus, all right, opponent's going to blow it up. Plus, now we do have 6 mana, so Clive off the top is what we want. Clive, by far the best runner deck by a million miles. Feels our own the creature land. Hit you down to 16. We are on a bit of a clock. Double Castle Lockwayne. Opponent. Gonna Fatal Push. Kill the Burning Tree Emissary. Get in, hit us. Gain back some life. This life gain is keeping our opponent, is really keeping our opponent ahead in this game. Castle Lockwayne draws. Mizium Mortars. Well, would be nice if we could like kill a board with it, but we will settle. The only way we can really minimize these Castle Lockwaynes is keeping our opponent from gaining so much life. Blade of the Oni and a Faceless Haven. Come on, deck. Give us a Clive. Give us a Clive or give us death. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. There's a Clive. It is not a good Clive. We only get to draw 2, but better than what we were doing before. Ooh. Okay, those are 2 good 3-drops. Opponent. Okay, well, I imagine they got to take Chain Whirler, or else Chain Whirler just kills the Blade of the Oni, right? Yeah, it takes the Chain Whirler. Also, the Blade has Menace, so we can't just block it. We can flip Clive, though. Kalitas, eh? This Clive's actually going to be great. That can just kill the Kalitas. All right, opponent going to equip to the Kalitas. Oh, there's Nykthos, too. Actually, because of Nykthos, we can get out Boros Reckoner. Now, oh man, are we going to win this? This was looking so grim, but now things are looking way better. Okay, Clive came through. Clive is coming through. Draws his cards. Gonna flip around. Snipe this Kalitas. And then we have a 9/9? Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Kalitas down. 9/9 achieved. And a Boros Reckoner. Still a little scared that our opponent gets to draw 3 cards a turn with Castle Lockwains. That's concerning. Castle Lockwain's so good. Opponent draws. Yep, down to 15. Another Gifted Etherboard. Come on, deck. Okay, Abraid is good. We make a million mana that doesn't really do anything. We will Abraid the Gifted Etherborn because we want to be able to attack. Like, we have this 9/9. I think the onus is on us to close out this game. Attack with a 9/9 opponent. Gonna jump with the Blade of the Oni. Also worth mentioning, we might see a full Clive here. If our opponent can't kill the Clive this turn, next turn, it's gonna make 4, flip back around, draw us a new hand again, which is kind of, oh man, this is like Clive getting us back in this game. The Clive card advantage is letting us keep up with the, oh wow, is it gonna live? Is it actually living? Opponent. It does mean we don't get to attack with Clive next turn, because it's gonna be summoning sick, but still. All right, we draw a mountain, that's fine. It's about to get discarded. Flip Clive back around, make some manas, discard the mountain, draw. All right, more Clives. And a bunch of Nykthoses. Well, let's see how far we can go here. Burn ya. And Nykthos makes 6. Play the second Nykthos. I mean, if we can hit another Fanatic Amogus off of this draw 8. No, draw 6. If we hit another Fanatic Amogus, we just win, right? Clive, number 2. Refuel, so much card advantage. Refuel. All right. So, bad news is we did not hit the win instantly. Good news is we did hit a bunch of Eidolons. Well, Bone Crusher your face. Down to... You know what? If our opponent hadn't gained so much life, they would be dead. Their life game keeping them in the Senate. Well, Eidolon. Hit you with a Reckoner. Opponent down to 4. So our opponent cannot cast a spell, mana value 3 or less, or else they die. I think... Oh my god. Oh no! My goodness, Meathook Massacre. Oh. Living up to its friggin' name, and a duress to take the smashing. Wow. And our opponent goes back up to 9. That is like the best possible draw for our opponent. Well, all right. Well, we find another Clive, which sadly we got no mana symbols. But we do get to play the creature line, play the Bone Crusher. Clive maybe next. Are we going to lose because of, all right, Graveyard Trespasser. Opponent gains more life. Come on, deck. Not like this. Oh, that Meathook Massacre. We are at 6, too. We got to keep that in mind. We're not super alive here. Opponent passes. Raminamp Ruins. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, I guess we play the Raminamp Ruins. We can't really chain into another Nykthos anyway. We don't have enough mana symbols. Yeah, all right. How about a Clive? Bonnet. Castle Lockwain. Down to 8. Oh, man. Draws in to go for the throat. We draw a mountain. Oh, we're going to lose this, aren't we? Well, you know what I said 20 minutes ago? That if the game goes long, the Castle Lockwains are going to be a problem. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing is our opponent with the Castle Lockwain was able to draw into the removal spell to fizzle the Clive. Opponent gets in. Oh, boy. Well, okay. So if we block this, we take 4. Oh, and then Meathook triggers. So I guess we have to block Faceless Haven. All right, deck. Please. Some insane top deck that I'm not thinking of right now. Down to 1. Come on, deck. Ritual Chamber. That's going to make it harder. And it's a Bone Crusher dead. Well, that was a wild game. Apparently all the Clives in the world, not enough to beat a Massacre. It is Clive Devotion time. We're playing some Pioneer today, and we got to ship that 1-lander. Well, this hand does not have a Nykthos, but it seems okay, assuming we hit our lands. We do have Clive once we get there. Oh boy. Mardu Devotee, eh? Opponent might be a little aggressive. We will see, perhaps. Well, Mountain's not the worst draw. Let's get down the Eidolon. Yes, and really would love Actually, a 3-drop. A 3-drop would be great. Like a Boros Reckoner, a Chain Whirler, and then a Nykthos. And then Clive. Thalia. Man, Chain Whirler would be very nice. Thalia, eh? Found it passes. Burning Tree Emissary. Well, yeah. We're going to run it out. It is a sad one. We even have to take 2 to play it. So it is like the worst Burning Tree Emissary, but in the future it could be good. Bonnet. Adeline, eh? Well, opponent takes 2. Yeah, Adeline's a concern. Thalia gets in. Kill the token. All right, deck. We need land. We need land. Ugh. R1 Twin Flame Tyrant. Twin Flame's a cool combo piece if we do the like huge turn. Not great right now though, opponent. Copperco Van. Oh boy, Copperco. We might be about dead. Copperco Vanguard on to pump the humans and a Kytheon. Opponent's taking a bunch from the Eidolon, but it just doesn't matter. And now Chain Whirler is not enough. We don't have the mana for Mizium Mortars. Yeah, I think we're dead. Down to 1. Yeah, a little late Bone Crusher. All right, Adeline. That card can snowball, that is for sure. If there's one thing I know about Adeline, that card can snowball. Well, bring in the cheap removal. Go down, count on luck, a bit slow, Enduring Courage, Twin Flame Tyrant, and probably the Wily Goblin. Maybe a Goldhound. Run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. I mean, we can't get murdered any more brutally than game 1, so I don't think it could go worse than that. We just got absolutely run over. This hand seems fine. 2 cheap removal spells. We actually got the Nykthos this time. Mizium Mortars could be overloaded to really show our opponent what's up. Is it better than a Novice Inspector? I guess it matters if you care about fixing your mana. So I think we just play Eidolon here. We play the Burning Tree, but we can't really follow up with the Eidolon because it makes green-red. Next turn, we can Eidolon into the Nykthos. It would be nice if we had something to do with it. Like, we make some mana, but we don't have anything to do with the mana. Portable Hole. All right, gonna take down the Eidolon. Annoying, but sure. And Veteran Survivor, eh? Down to 19. Oh, man. That Chain Whirler would be so good. All right. Well, Burning Tree Emissary. Makes a little mana. And, yeah, we're going to snipe the Survivor anyway. I just don't want to get too far behind. I want our opponent, if they have Adeline, to have to chump attack with the Devotee so we can kill it. That would be one way we could minimize the impact of Adeline. Starting town, eh? Well, Thoughtseize. I imagine our Chain Whirler is going to go. This game might end up being a bit of a grind, actually. And, that's Thalia. The Chain Whirler would be so nice. Ram and Amp Ruins, eh? It's kind of a fragile spot here if they have a bomb of some kind. I mean, that's fine. We will accept that. Down to 17. Passes. Could kill the Thalia. We could fire up the Den of the Bugbear, but I'm scared of losing a land. If we had 1 more mana, we can kill them both. Yeah, let's just kill the Thalia, though. I think this is worth it. We're not doing anything else, and we still have the Mortars in hand. Not going to attack, though. I feel like in this matchup, we're gonna win the long game. At least that's the theory, right? Opponent plays a Plains and passes. Bone Crusher's good. Down to 14, and yeah. Stomp the Devotee, and then run out the Bone Crusher. Well, now you know what we want is a Clive. Show us a Clive. Found it, land, and passes. Well, a Braid can get back the Eidolon, I guess. I mean, the bring in some removal and kill all your stuff plan seems to be working. Again, Joe, to take down the Bone Crusher. Even gets around the trigger. Well, let's blow up this Portable Hole. Get back the Eidolon. I feel like pretty much every card in our opponent's deck should trigger the Eidolon, right? Wow, opponent's drawn a lot. Opponent scoops it up. Yeah, opponent just kind of just flooded their way out of that game. Let's bring in the Abrew now that we've seen the Portable Holes. Let's go on Scorching Shot, I think. Actually, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. On to game number 3. Yeah, Scorching Shot is not bad, but it is sorcery speed. Abrew kills most of the same things, except for Adeline, but it also gets a portable hole, and its instant speed. Veteran Surveyor, I mean, this hand actually seems great. Burning Tree, and the Nykthos, and the Clive. And we even got a Mizium Mortar, so we got some removals. And a Bone Crusher now, too, opponent. Cecil, ooh, okay, there's some Final Fantasy spice. I feel like Cecil's a good card. I am curious to see how it plays out. Well, Mountain's fine. Play the Mountain, run out the Burning Tree. Unfortunately, that extra toughness on Cecil means we cannot stomp it, but we can stomp the Survivor. The Veteran Survivor. All right, so when Cecil deals damage, our opponent also has to take that much damage, but once they get to 10, it flips into a big life linker. Well, there's Adeline. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of doing the same trick that people talked about in Standard, where they're using Cecil to get through for Kaido. But with Adeline, it's a one drop that you really don't want to block. Chain Whirler, eh? Well, play the land, and Chain Whirler doesn't kill anything, but I think it's worth it just because of the Nykthos. It's a lot of man. Like, this theoretically gets us to Clive next turn if we want it. I'm not even sure if we want a Clive yet. We might want to play the Fanatic first, or we could Overlord the Mortars, which is absurd. That might actually be that's probably the best line, actually, is just Overlord, Wrath the board, and go from there. Clive the next turn, maybe. Drew all oh, no. Okay, well, the Mizium Mortars line looking worse. Thalia's Lieutenant. Grows Adeline, grows the Cecil. Thalia's Lieutenant number 2. Oh, Adeline 6 toughness. Man, we're taking 10. All right. Well, this is concerning. Yeah, now I don't know what our plan is. So opponent hits us. They do, well, actually, wait, can we kill them? Opponent does go to 6 because of their Cecil. Wait, did our opponent kill themselves somehow? We do have a Fanatic Amogus. Nykthos. Yeah, after singing Cecil's praises, I'm pretty sure our opponent just died because of Cecil. Nykthos Fanatic Amogus hit you for exactly 6. Oh, the Cecil damage actually did that man, or we would have lost. All right, Cecil. Good try. Time for some more Clive devotion. Oh, all right, this is, well, we'll see. This hand's gonna kill someone. Triple I, we've drawn so many Eidolons with this deck for some reason. Bonnet, Gazelgarenbrig. Well, yeah, let's play the tap land past the turn. We do want another land. Nykthos would be the sweetest land to draw. Gazelgarenbrig and Llanowar Elves. Well, okay, a land is good. Yeah, ramming at Bruins. Get down the Eidolon. I don't know if Eidolon's going to be good if this is like a green devotion deck. Eidolon might not actually be that good against them. We'll see. See what our opponent's up to. Arch Druid's Charm to kill the Eidolon. Okay, well, we can deal with that. The good news is there's more Eidolons where that comes from. Are we shocking ourselves? Yeah, let's Burning Tree. Man, Nykthos would be so sweet. Burning Tree, make a couple mana. Shatter Skull Smashing, untapped, and Eidolon. Number 2, Gil. You're going to take damage if you cast cheap spells, opponent. There's nothing you can do about it. We got all the Eidolons. Oh, opponent. Oh, tie. Oh, maybe that's why they're concerned. All right. Maybe they're an elf deck. That makes more sense. I was like, if you're green devotion, why do you even care? Why do you even care about Eidolon? But if you're elves, that actually makes sense. Dude, just play another Eidolon? Yeah, let's play another Eidolon. Since our opponent's so scared of it. Eidolon number 3. We're not that far from Clive. Two more mana, or one more Nykthos. Opponent. Ooh, Invasion of Ixalan. Take 4. Eidolon's so brutal. Gonna find a creature or land, some sort of permanent. Gets a land. It's a little bit tapped. And opponent, oh boy. All right. So Fanatic hits for 7. Yeah, let's play a Fanatic. It's also 4 mana, so it does not trigger the Eidolons. You get 1 spell, opponent. 1 cheap spell. About it. I mean, we have the Fanatic in hand, unless they have a mono. Okay. Interesting. I was gonna say unless they have a mono green Wrath, they have a Titan of Industry, so they go up to 10. I don't think that's enough though. With the second, ooh, all right, blows up an Eidolon. Oh, Burning Tree's good. We definitely have enough now then. I wasn't sure with them blowing up the Eidolon, did we still have lethal, but I think this should do it. So Burning Tree, make a couple mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fanatic hits for 8. Yeah, we actually needed every bit of devotion. Go attack it. Xaxes, well, we got there. We didn't get to Clive, but Eidolon's getting the job done. I don't know what our opponent's deck is. Is this elves? I mean, we're going to bring in cheap removal. Titan of Industry, random elf. It looked like Mono Green Devotion. I'm not sure if it's a ramp deck or an elf deck. Well, let's do some trimming. Get rid of some of the slow stuff. Bring in the removal. Run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw. Oh, yeah, we can't keep this one lander, sadly. Oh, all right, well, this one lander we are going to keep, although it is a little sketchy. We'll keep the Abrew since... Oh, we need to draw land so badly. All right, Magic Gods. All right, Magic Gods. How about a land? Found it. Tap land and Lovestruck Beast. Ooh, all right. That's okay. We wanted to give our opponent a little bit of a head start to not make it too easy on ourselves. Opponent Lovestruck Beast gets in for 1. All right, that is a land. It's a land that does not let us play the Burning Tree Emissary, although it's a land that once we can play the Burning Tree Emissary is going to be very good. Opponent Castle Garenbrig, up the beam. Opponent's is on a weird build of green. I do not know. Now we got Adventure Stuff and Up the Beanstalk. This is like the history of good green cards. Except, I'm not sure how they synergize together. But, like, Lovestruck was really good in its era. If we kill the 1/1, they can't attack with the Lovestruck, which is nice. Not a land. Well, all right, pass the turn. A little bit slow with the lands, but we will see. Opponent Forest. And even more Lovestruck Beast. Gonna make the 1/1. I mean, we can keep killing the token, which is nice. Yeah, just keep stomping. Stomping the humans. Lovestruck was good back in its day. Lovestruck. We just got to keep the 1/1s off the battlefield. Oh boy. All right. Well, we are really spotting our opponent. If we get back in this game, we are spotting our opponent a lot of mana. The only little bit of good news is we do have the Nykthos, which means if we draw 1 red source, it's kind of like drawing. Okay, there's 1 red source. It's kind of like drawing a whole bunch of lands because now we get to go double Burning Tree into Nykthos Burning Tree, which I guess probably Enduring Courage, and then we hope we find... Unless they kill it. I mean, I guess I could fight it with a trigger on the stack. Burning Tree number 2. Okay, finally doing things. Actually, we may have caught our opponent in mana somehow. After missing so many lands. That is the power of Nykthos. Well, make 4 red mana, and yeah, let's just play Enduring Courage. We're going shields down. I mean, we're at 19, though, so even if they make a 1/1, get in with a Lovestruck Beast, doesn't seem like the end of the world. We shouldn't just, like, straight up die or anything, which is good. And Haste for the Future is nice. Also, oh, don't kill it. Oh, boy. Okay, well, our fun was short-lived. Now we have no mana again. Beseiju on the Nykthos. Well, at least we get to leave up the torch to the tower if they make a 1/1. What are we doing? Oh, we need another Nykthos, I guess. Shadow Sphere. Well, that would be an issue if our opponent could actually attack with any of their creatures. Shadow Sphere on a Lovestruck Beast. Yup. I mean, I guess they're good on defense. I mean, they only have 2 cards in hand. They say that Mana Screw beats Mana Flood. We'll see if it's true. I imagine the Up the Beanstalk, if they ever trigger it, might make that not as true. Although, what is... I do not understand what their deck is exactly doing. Pick your poison. All right. Well, that gets rid of half of an Enduring Courage. We still get the haste, though. The 3/3 body wasn't that important anyway. Come on, land. All right. Not a Nykthos, but at least it's a land. Do we just... Yeah, I think we just Bone Crusher and haste it in and smack ya. They can trade with a Lovestruck Beast. Maybe gain back some life, but seems worth it. Well, are we actually kind of in this game? We missed so many. We missed land drop number 2 on turn 2. And then we drew the Nykthos and missed what, like 3 more land drops in a row? I do not know how we're still in this one. Titan Industry would be obnoxious or something big like that. Archdruid. All right, opponent Archdruid's Charm. Oh, speak of the Titan Industry. Oh, and they have a Nykthos. Okay, so they are... I guess Green Devotion adjacent, at least. Titan Industry draws a card. Well, let's see what they choose. Gaining life doesn't seem that great. We can kill it with 2 removal spells, especially if they don't shoot. Our hand is just full of removal spells. Gonna blow up the haste, make a 4/4. All right. Well, we might need to kill this Titan of Industry. Opponent, pass it. Ooh. Okay, Nykthos is... Oh, can we find a Clive now? Now we kind of want the Clive. We found a Nykthos. Scorching Shot plus Torch, the Titan. And then I guess we probably just kill the Rhino too. I mean, it's a lot of removal spells to spend to kill 1 card. This Titan of Industry is going to be like 1,000,000 for 1, but I guess they spent 7 mana on it, so it's kind of fair, but all right. Removal spell number 2, Torch the Tower, get rid of it. Rhino, kill that too. And pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent does not draw 1/1. Well, we're going to need some action. That Lair of the Hydra, especially with the Shadow Sphere, is a concern. Yeah, opponent, Lair of the Hydra, can attack, but it turns on the Lovestruck Beast, gets in, gains 6, hits us to 13. Come on, deck. Show us a Clive. Well, 1, 2. Nykthos. And I guess we just Bone Crusher for now and leave up the Abrade. If they turn on the Lair of the Hydra again, we can try to Abrade it, but then they can activate again in response? But then they won't be able to attack with the Lovestruck Beast. Well, we'll see. They could also just fire up the Lair of the Hydra and attack with that. Like, they have a lot of mana. They got the Sunken Citadel. They got the Nykthos. Like, if they just fire Lair of the Hydra and put the Shadow Sphere on it, that's a lot of damage. I mean, I guess then we blow up the Shadow Sphere just to get rid of the trample. Opponent's also at 28. It's a lot of mana symbols to get there with a... All right, opponent. Oh, they are gonna go big Lair of the Hydra mode. Sure. Might have over-tapped. They tapped so much they couldn't put the Shadow Sphere on it. We are just gonna take it, though. All right. This would be the turn to draw something good. Because otherwise... All right, Abrew Grazer. Don't really care about that. Otherwise, we're getting close to the just dying to our opponent's big things. Den of the Bugbear. Well, we can run out the Fnatic Amogus. Deals a little damage, although honestly nowhere near lethal at the moment because our opponent's gained so much life. Hit you to 22, play that down to the Bugbear. Pass the turn. Man, we need a Clive so bad. If we draw a Clive, good things could happen. I don't know about the Up the Beanstalk in our opponents. I guess it adds Devotion. Maybe it's just like 2 mana cycle, add Devotion, and you like randomly draw a card when you cast a Titan of Industry. Or maybe they got a bunch more big stuff we haven't seen. I don't know. Their opponent's deck is still kind of confusing me. Opponent, Lair of the Hydra. Gonna go 1/1 this time. So we are gonna try to Abrade it. Although, like I said, our opponent could pump it. So it keeps a Lovestruck Beast from attacking. Because we're in combat, they can't re-equip. Turn it into a 4/4. But I think this means we take 0 damage. Like, they can't really attack. I mean, I guess they could attack with it, and then we just trade. But, man, this hand wants a Clive so bad. The Filgary Silex. Okay, so that can get rid of the Burning Trees in a couple of turns. Oh, we're right on the edge of death. Goblin Chain Whirler. Well... better than a useless land, that's for sure. Yeah, let's do a little whirling. I guess we can sack a Ramanamp Ruins, hit you down to 20. I mean, the Chain Whirler is okay just because it's a body. First Strike is also kind of relevant. Not at the moment, but generally speaking. Opponent taking up the Filgary Silex. So we have 1 more turn until the Filgary Silex can blow up the Burning Trees. I don't know if our opponent knows what to do here. I still feel like we're empty-handed now. Dump all your mana into Lair of the Hydra, put on the Shadow Sphere attack. That seems good, right? Like, worst case, you gain a ton of life. Maybe they're worried that we, like, double block, triple block, kill it, which we might, but still. All right, opponent, gonna go mini Lair of the Hydra, so gonna get in with a Lovestruck Beast. Well, we're at 6, so we gotta do some blocking. So I think we want to try to keep mana symbols. Let's block, yeah. Burning Tree, Bone Crusher. So this should get rid of the Lovestruck Beast. We do lose some mana symbols. We go to 5. But we still have, what, 6 red pips? Shadow Sphere going on. Abrew Grazer, everyone's favorite 1-drop. Another land. All right, come on. Ooh, that actually is Clive. All right. Well, that is the draw we were waiting for. It is Clive time. Empty-handed, 8 pips. All right, 6 mana, 5/5. Draw 8 cards. Oh, Clive is so good. Yes, we would like to draw a new hand. Can we find not another Nykthos. So we can Mortars down the Grazer attack? I guess that makes sense. We do need to make sure we don't die on the backswing. Actually, we can't attack too much because of the Lair of the Hydra. Do we play? Yeah, maybe we just play the Eidolon. I mean, I feel like next turn we probably can kind of put it away. We could even just use this Brotherhood End to blow up the Shadow Sphere and the Filgry Silex. We're not going to attack at all. We're just going to stay on defense. I'm really afraid of getting one shot here because we're so low on life. Opponent takes up the Silex. We can flip Clive next turn. We actually have quite a bit of damage. I don't think we can't attack if we flip 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, we actually just easily win. The Fanatic Amogus, we have 16 pips. Like, we have 16 damage plus 10 pips plus the pips we have in hand. An opponent. Yeah. Well, Clive comes through. I do not know how he missed all those lands and got back in the game, but we'll take it and rank it up to diamond. Sweet. So what do we learn this week about Clive Devotion in Pioneer? And record-wise, we went 6-3 with the deck, so 67% win percentage. I don't know why I thought 75 for a second. 67% win percentage, which is actually pretty solid win percentage. We got up to diamond with the deck on Magic Arena, which is pretty sweet. And I gotta say, the deck itself, on one hand, we've played Red Devotion before, and a lot of the things that we're doing are similar to what we did in the past, right? Lots of red mana symbols, Nykthos, make a ton of mana, Fanatic Amogus to try to burn you out of the game. But I gotta say, Clive, it lives up to the hype. This card really changes how this deck plays because it just gives it something that it's never had before, which is this huge card draw spell that actually works with the theme of the deck, doesn't really clunk it up by making you play another color or something. So I think Clive's power really changes the equation, and we didn't get to see it every game. Clive is 6 mana. We don't always draw Nykthos. We had some games that we won before we even got to cast Clive or we didn't draw Clive. On the other hand, we got to see some really sweet Clive games where really, if it wasn't for Clive, we wouldn't have won the game. I think our last game might be the best example of that, where if we did not draw Clive to refill our hand, there is no way we're going to win that game. But then we draw the Clive and we fit the Clive to kill something. We draw a bunch of cards, eventually have this big combo turn, and you can have some pretty sweet combo turns with this deck where you just make so much mana and cast so many things that you really win by surprise, even if your opponent's at 20 damage, just burning them all the way out of the game. So I find the deck super fun to play, and Clive makes the deck way more fun to play than it was in the past. Because like I said in the intro, kind of the issue with Mono Red Devotion, one of the issues is you can just dump your hand of all the red mana symbol stuff and then be like, okay, I got a bunch of Burning Tree Emissaries. Can you beat that? Like, sure, you can make a bunch of mana, but what are you going to spend the mana on? We talk about in Commander a lot that the most powerful thing is card advantage and mana advantage. Card advantage and mana advantage. I would say that Mono Red Devotion, it was really good at mana advantage. Like, it just makes so much mana, but it was really, really bad at card advantage. Now, thanks to Clive, the deck's really good at mana advantage, and when we draw Clive, also insanely good at card advantage, which makes the deck so much more powerful. One note, if you decide to pick up this deck, so Nykthos is really important to the deck, but I also don't think you want to mulligan super aggressively to find it, because remember, for Nykthos to be good, we also need red mana symbols. So if we mulligan to like 5 and find Nykthos and a mountain and a couple of random things, we probably don't have enough mana symbols to really make Nykthos good. So when you want Nykthos, I usually don't go super deep trying to find it. The other thing I would mention with Nykthos is remember it is legendary. So one of the tricks of the deck to have those super huge explosive turns is you get a Nykthos on the battlefield, use it to make a bunch of mana, play your Clives or dump your hand, whatever you want to do, and then Clive can draw us into another Nykthos that then we can play. Sure, we got a legend rule ourselves, but that doesn't really matter. We play the new one. Now that one can make even more mana because we just added a bunch more red mana symbols to the battlefield, and that's how we have those huge like pop-off combo style turns. So keep that in mind as you're planning out your turns with this deck. You want to keep leaving 2 mana up in case I draw another Nykthos. is one of the things you want to consider. Like, it doesn't apply to every game, but once you get those big Clive turns going, that's something to keep in mind, because that burst of mana from the second Nykthos is a lot of times what you need to just fully put the game away. But anyway, that's Clive Devotion. I really love this deck. It's super fun to play. Clive is so perfect for it, and we got a reasonable amount of wins. So that's Clive Devotion. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.